Hi, welcome back to Musicians Edition. Today we have a special episode. We're going to learn the Stars and Stripes Forever on flute. And at the end we have the piano part with the piccolo. So this will be fun. So first, if you haven't noticed, our school is being built back together. It's looking a little nicer. We're in a different room. They're connected, but anywho, we're in a little bit of a bigger room, so that's really nice. All right, moving on. First, I want to take a moment to talk about the composer of the Stars and Stripes Forever. Do you know who the composer is? It's John Philip Sousa. Now, he was a pretty big name. He's known as the Marching King, known for composing marching compositions for particularly the military, and the Stars and Stripes Forever is one of them that he composed that now sticks with us today. I love John Philip Sousa's work. I think it's great, but I also really like marching band stuff, so that's fun. All right, so first off, if you need the sheet music, it's down below. Okay, so let's take a look at this piece, okay? So first, tell me about what is in our key signature. We have 1 sharp, F sharp. Great. So next, let's look at our time signature. Now this is a big one. This is in cut time. So that means it's 2-2. That also means everything is cut in half, faster. So for example, our half note is now a quarter note. Okay, we have 2 beats in our measure. 1, 2, 1, 2. You can learn more about cut time here. But there are a few people who like to just count in a double times. So Colin, our cello teacher, for example, when he plays in cut time, he prefers just doubling his time. So instead of doing 1, 2, 1, 2, what he counts is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. He basically speeds it up to double time. And that works too. So if you have a really hard time wrapping your head around a half note being a quarter note, you're more than welcome to count it that way. Just know it's going to be double the speed of what it is written. So if our piece was written for 1:15, for example, you would have to double that pace to make it fit. All right, anywho, we're going to first take a look at it as if it were just a slow 4/4 so we can get rhythms and get our notes. And then we'll start speeding it up and changing it into cut time. Okay? So aside from all that, now let's take a quick look at our dynamics. What do we have going on? We're starting off in fortissimo, right? We're gonna play it really loud. Yes, why not? Loud and super proud, okay? And then where we have a repeat on that top line, it's gonna be mezzo forte. We're gonna get a little quieter, but still kind of loud. And then we're gonna crescendo. We're gonna get even louder, okay? And then when you see the second line towards the end there, we're gonna decrescendo down. And then third line, piano. We're gonna play soft now, okay? And then we're gonna get loud a little further in, forte, piano, forte, fortissimo. So just take a quick gander and look at the dynamics since there are some movements, okay? Now let's take a look at some other things we need to note. We did run into a repeat just looking through our dynamics, right? So where is the first repeat at? It is measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Measure 20. We have that repeat sign. Where does that repeat take us to? Takes us to 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 4. We do have a first ending and a second ending, so something to take note of. All right, and then we have another repeat. So we'll take a look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th line. At the very end, we have a repeat. Where does that repeat take us to? Takes us to the 4th line. It's right after that second ending from the previous repeat. Okay, and then that one also has a first and second ending. And then we have another repeat even. All right, now this repeat is on page 2 towards the bottom here, second to last measure. Now where does that repeat take us to? Second page, first line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, measure 5, okay? And that also has a first and second ending. So this piece is gonna be longer, but without those repeats, we would have 4 pages, and that's too much page turning to play something that's already written on the paper. Okay, moving on, let's take a look and see if we have any accidentals and other notes we should pay attention to. So we can see we already have some accidentals. Look at measure 3, B flat, B natural, C sharp. So we have some of those to pay attention to, right? And then a little later, we have G sharp, a D sharp, D natural, C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, B flat, C sharp. So we do have some accidentals we need to pay attention to, okay? And then we have a couple grace notes in here too to make mention. So there's kind of a lot happening in this piece, right? So here's what we're gonna do. Let's take a quick run through, just beginning to end, just a sight reading thing. We gotta get good at sight reading. So we're gonna sight read this, beginning to end, then we're going to take it apart, and then we're going to convert to cut time, and then we're going to play as the group. Okay? All right, so let's just sight read this, do the best you can. All right, we'll take this slower, we'll play it at 4/4. All right, ready? And do repeats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. There are a few things that hopefully you caught during our sight reading that we didn't catch earlier, like the key change, for example. So that happened at measure, well, line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In that second measure, that's where the key changes. So it becomes F natural instead of F sharp. Okay, now let's go ahead and break this down. So let's take a look at our first line here, okay? So rhythmically, there's nothing too complicated here. Maybe a little bit after the repeat might throw you off a little bit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, rest, 3, 4. Okay, and we have a little bit of chromatic scale action happening in measure 3. So why don't we actually just play these first 4 measures right before that repeat sign there. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. See, that one's not too complicated. Now, we need to throw in something else a little bit more. We have the little accents above the notes. We're going to really push those out. Ta, 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 ta. It's supposed to be like intense. So this time, let's try to do it with that intensity. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the hard part is going to be keeping everything under control, so try not to do any forms of squeak. So tone it back a little bit and then work your way in. It's all controlled right here from the dynamic, so work on control too. All right, let's do those measures one more time, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So now we're going to start from that first repeat sign. We're going to look through our first ending, okay? So here it may feel like it's a little bit rhythmically off, but it's really not. We have 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay? Then it just goes right into eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now with those, we have a slur. So the A to the G sharp is just slurred. And then the rest of that measure is staccato. So you want to keep it nice and short. Right? All right, so let's back up. Let's just play the 2 measures right at that repeat, okay? Just so we can get the rhythm. We're ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Now what I do for like a little trick to help keep with that pacing is when there are just those eighth rests like that, I have a tendency to just do a quick little sniff for the count is kind of what I do. And it's a little funny. So it's take a little sniff. And that sniff just helps me count it. It's just a quick and. So if you're struggling with that count, maybe try just doing a quick breathe in for your and through the nose. All right, let's do those 2 measures one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay. Now moving to the next measure. I get ahead of myself here. So now this is where we're slurring and then staccatoing it. The following measure, we have that grace note. That grace note starts on that same note, so it's G to G to F. So from that second line, and then the grace note remains on the G, but it just goes down to that F sharp, so it's G to F sharp. Okay, so let's try those two measures. I know we're really breaking this down, but I really want us to get this. Okay, so second line, just the two measures. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are all staccato too, so just do that. Grace note, short, short, short. All right, let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Let's do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right. So now let's continue on and look ahead. So then we have that G, that accented G, make it strong. Okay. And then we're resting for 2. So it's just like the rhythm we had before. We're just changing the notes a little bit. Okay. So it's 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Same rhythm as before. And then the following measure is the same rhythm as well, just different notes. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. On those 2 quarter notes though, they're not staccato, hold them out for full length. Okay, then it's gonna hold out for 3 and 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and play all of line 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is where we just need to pay attention to some of our accidentals. So, D sharp, a little hard to think of for some of us. So, what is D sharp equivalent to? E flat. There we have it. So, if you're struggling with that one, it's E flat. All right, let's play that line again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to line 3. There's a little bit more rhythm happening here. So we have 1, rest on 2 and 3, rest on 4 and, okay, 1, 2 and 3 and. All right, so that measure might be a little tricky. So let's just play that measure real quick. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. And remember, those are all staccato too, so keep those nice and short. All right, let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Let's do it one more time so we can really get comfortable with it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay. So now looking at the rest of the line, it's still going to remain staccatoed for that following measure, but it's just quarter notes. Ta, 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 ta. And we have that C sharp in there, so take note of that too. Okay? And then we're going to punch hard for that A, and then we're going to punch hard for that D, and then 8th notes. Ta, ta. And that's also all slurred. And I know it's a little tricky going from D to C sharp. That's a lot of movement there. So you might have to take time to practice and make sure your fingers are in sync. Very important because it's very exposed. All right, but moving forward, then it's going to be the same rhythm there with the same notes. So it's basically happening twice. A, ta. Oh, and then we come back to that same rhythm we had before, okay? Same notes and everything. So I think we're good to play line 3. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Let's do it again. Actually, I think we're ready to play all the way to that repeat. Okay? Because then we have just the quarter notes. Now this is just where you need to pay attention to some of your accidentals. D, C sharp, D, B flat, okay? All right, and then it's the same rhythm as before, just this time we're going C sharp to B natural. All right, so we're just moving these two fingers, just basically pinching, but they still have to be in sync. Okay, so that might need a little bit of work there too. And then it's going down to the low D, rest, and then coming up to the octave, and then we're going to repeat. So right now, let's do that line 3 until the end of the first ending, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Let's do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. All right. So now let's back it up to, let's start at the beginning repeat on the first line, and now we're going to play all the way to the first end. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take a look at that second ending real quick, just so we get comfortable with it before we take the repeat. So that round we're gonna do low D, rest for 1, and then do the higher D for 2, 1.5, and 1. And that's slurred. All right, so now let's go back to the repeat. This time we're going to play the second ending, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right, so here it can feel like the rhythm is a little bit complicated, but it's really not. So we have the half note for 2. 1, 2. Hold that out for 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So it's really not as bad as it looks, okay? So I think we can actually just do this whole section from the first ending. So go ahead, we'll play from that repeat that we just started off with to ending 1. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So I hope that makes a little more sense when it comes to the counts. If you're still kind of like struggling, make sure you just take a little bit of time and write your counts in. All right, let's do it one more time before we move on. Okay, ready? Once again, we're going to first ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, so now looking at the second ending, it's even easier. It's just a quarter note, quarter rest, hold for 2. So now we're gonna go back to the repeat. This time we're gonna take the second ending. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Now, this is where we're going to make the note that the key signature is changing. All right, you see how it just has that random F natural, or the natural on the F there? That's the key signature change. I know it's a little confusing. Sometimes they put the treble clef in there, sometimes they don't. This case they didn't. So, take your pencil, circle it in if you think you're going to miss it. All right? And now this is kind of like the part we all know. Da 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 da. You know, so that's what this part is. Now, it might not sound like it's quite what you know, but that's just because we're playing it super slow right now. Okay, but that's what this section is. It's one of the main parts. Okay, so let's just go ahead and play that. I think we can play this whole section up until. Let's stop where that first repeat sign is on page 2, top line, okay? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. So just in that section, you just kind of have to take note of all the accidentals. So C sharps and D sharps. But as we play it slower, you know, it kind of helps, and then we'll just get faster. That'll help too. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next section. So here, you just got to count the rests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? So the counting's not even that hard. They're just mainly quarters right there. And then it's going to second line, that last measure, quarter, quarter rest, 1 and 2, and now this section might be a little harder for some. We have this is where it will really help to know your chromatic scale, first of all, because that's kind of how it works after we do the ta, ta, da, 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 right? So that's, I guess let's take a look at that rhythm first. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Ta, 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 right? And those are all staccatoed, so nice and short. Ta, 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 okay? And then it's going to just be the chromatic scale down. Ta, 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 ta. So just the chromatic scale. Take time to take that slowly. That's about the only jump there. C natural to B flat, that's not part of the chromatic, but the rest is. So you know what, let's actually just play that real quick together. All right, so starting line 3, measure 2, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect, let's do it again, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And then it's just going to do the 8th notes. 1 and 2. Well, I guess that's actually 3. 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. Same rhythm as before. It's just on B flat versus A flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's another section of the chromatic scale. So let's play that right there, starting from that B flat. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. If you're struggling with those, make sure you really take the time to play those note by note. Get the feel for it. Might as well learn the chromatic scale. It makes it so much easier than, like when you see all those accidentals like that, you kind of automatically know that it's chromatic. All right, moving on. Okay, so now it's back to the 8th note run. 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. Just like we had before. 1, 2, back to the runs. 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. Just like before. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Now this is where it changes a little bit. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a little bit trickier there, but nothing too complicated. It's also kind of working down the chromatic scale, so it's like this. Right, so you can hear that it's really not too complicated. Ta ta da ta da ta da ta da ta da ta da. All right, so let's try that section together. Starting on that very first D, it's what, line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, measure 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And there it just becomes the quarter notes. Ta, 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 ta. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. All right, so now let's do that whole section. So from that first repeat sign on the top of the page, and then you see where it's like the slight double bars right before where it says grandioso. That's where we're gonna play to. Okay, ready? And we're gonna count and hold out for those rests. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Excellent job. See how that all like came together? Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and move on. This is back to the main section that we know. Da, 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 da. Okay, so that's this next section. Once again, nothing too complicated here. Now, if you do look ahead on line, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Measure 2, you see that it has the higher B and the lower B. So what you would do is just split it up. You usually get to take a pick if the conductor doesn't tell you what part you're playing, either the high B or the low B. I went with the low B just because that's the way I know it, so I chose the low B. But if you want to play the higher B, by all means, please do. All right, and then we still have a couple accidentals in there, so look out for your C sharps, your D sharps. There's an E flat written in there, okay? And then just some slurs going on. So I do think that we can just go ahead and play through this section. So let's just play from the grandioso to the first ending, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. All right. So now what we would do is go back to the repeat. Before we do that, let's just take a look at our second ending real quick. This is just going to be C, rest, C, rest. Okay, that's all that is. So why don't we go ahead, let's repeat. This time we're taking the second ending. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Excellent job. All right, so let's play it all the way through, beginning to end, just as 4. And then you know what? Let's For those who only want to keep it at 4/4, we'll play it together with the piano and the piccolo as 4/4, and then we'll go ahead and move on to make it cut time, okay? All right. So one time all the way through, and then with piano and piccolo. All right, ready? 1, 2. We're gonna speed it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. All right, let's play it 4/4 with the piano and the piccolo. 1, 2, 3. Good job. All right, now let's work on it on cut time because I'm not gonna lie, it's so much funner when it is cut time. All right, so like I said earlier, there's two ways of taking this for cut time. So the first is either we can just gradually speed it up, which I kind of recommend at this point since we learned it in 4/4. So we basically would need to double the tempo. All right, so what we played it for 4/4 was 115. So now it needs to be 230. If we think of it that way, right? Because we need to double the pacing. Hold on, let me get the metronome there so we can hear what it sounds like. You'll also see will also make more sense why it was written in cut time. Ready? This is where we need to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Da 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 da. Right? That's what it sounds like if we continue to play it 4/4, which is totally feasible. You can totally do that. Work your way there, right? So we played at 115, take it to 120, take it to 130, take it to 145. Work your way there. That's probably the easiest way to do it if you're not used to reading cut time. But when it is in cut time, we can take it back down to 115. Well, it's gonna take me forever to go back. Sorry, I'm going. 115. One 15, 4, 2. All right, so now when it's in 2/2, you see why it's cut time now? Da, 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 da. Right? Like, that's why we have cut time. I hope that helps you guys know, because there's still a lot of people asking, why would it be in cut time? That's why. This is why, okay? Either way, we have to work our way to that pacing, okay? So I'm gonna change it to 2/2 now. But remember, you're always more than welcome to put your own middle beats in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You just have to add in the 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So let's take this down just so we can halfway work our way there. I mean, there's a huge difference between the tempos that we just did. So you for sure are gonna have to take time to practice this on your own and work your way there. Okay, so we'll take this to cut time at 80. And we'll just play this for a little bit. Let's take the second ending to all of them, just because we're already sitting a pretty long video. Okay, ready? 1, and this time I'm playing it as cut time. Okay, that means if you can't figure out cut time, you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so you see how like that was faster? Crazy thing is that's not even close. So I want you to take time to practice this, speed it up. I mean, we have a lot to go to get it to its proper pace. That's a beautiful thing about marches. They're usually really fast. All right, so I want you to take time, work your way there. For video purposes, I'm gonna have to move us on. So we're gonna go on to the performance part in cut time, okay? This will still be here for when you are done and you're at that pace, ready to go. So it is going to be cut time. This is where we need to work our way to. Cut time at 1:15. That's where we're gonna play, okay? And it's gonna be fast, okay? And once again, I'm just putting headphones on so I can hear the other parts. Okay, and then I might just put mine to 4/4. And remember, if you're doing 4/4, then it needs to be double, so it needs to be 2:30. One, two, 1, 2. But if you made it, good job. If that was a little much for you, that's okay. Just take it a little bit slower and work your way there. It's a challenging piece when you play it at tempo in cut time. But I enjoy it, I have fun. Whew, all right. If you have any further questions, let me know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the like button, the shared button. Is there a share button? Notification button so you don't miss any of our lessons or practices. Thanks for joining and happy 4th of July!